But before we do this, I just wanted to show you a few simple ways of navigating through the channel rack and how to manage your scores and your samples. So for example, here we have our kick. And by the way, I did a quick fill with these 4 steps. And if I want to add another drum here, I'm gonna fill each 8 steps. One thing you'll notice is that when you quick fill steps, it starts on the first step. So sometimes that's not very helpful because you want to actually this snare to start on the second step. So the way to shift it over is you simply hold Control and Shift, and you shift it over to the right. And here we go. We have our snare on the 5th step instead of first step. And another thing I wanted to show you how to quickly copy and paste things between different patterns using the channel rack. I select the channel that I want to copy the steps from, hold Control X, go into a new pattern, hit Control V, and here we go. I can even hit Control V on a different channel. It doesn't need to be the exact same channel. So you can copy and paste patterns between different channels, right? It's the same thing goes for the piano roll. So I can hit Control C to copy. I'll go into pattern number 3, another empty pattern. Hit Control V, and our chord is now in pattern 3's piano roll. So just a quick and easy way of managing your arrangements in the channel rack. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you in the channel rack is looping. So I'm just going to quickly create a 4-bar progression here. And I'm just going to put in a few kick and snare steps. And what you hear is that the first part, so the first bar of our progression, the kick and snare were playing just fine. And then for a second, third, and fourth bar, there was no kick and snare anymore. So when you're arranging things in the channel rack, it's a really useful thing to engage this loop step channels. So you can quickly arrange different drum patterns along with your melody and not have to worry about filling in all of these additional steps, because as you can see, they're automatically filled in. And if I change one, they change here in the grayed out section as well. So let's say on the last bar, I wanted to add a variation in the kick here. So as you can see, what happens is that all of these steps get removed, and then now only this very last step remains in our step sequencer. And obviously this is not very helpful when you're trying to make a little variant here on the last step. So in order to deal with that, we will use the burn selected channels. As soon as I click that, all of these kicks, they turn from this grayed out sort of looping version of the step into an actual solid step that's in our step sequencer. And as you can hear, I can add variations, and that does not affect these steps here. The same can be done for the snare. And so you can actually burn all looping channels. When I click this, all of the channels that we use to loop in the channel rack are now filled in. And now we're free to edit them however you like. Let's add another drum in here. Let's go into the hi-hats. A short hi-hat. Open it in a new channel. So I want to fill in every 2 steps. Turn this down a little bit. And from here, we can even go into advanced looping and choose how many steps each channel will loop. So I can go into loop at 3, for example. So it's a little bit more advanced. Obviously, if you get confused as to what's looping and what's not, simply disengage this and just go into loop all step channels. And these windows disappear and you're back into a simple way of looping the pattern. So this was a quick overview on how to work within the browser and the channel rack. And in the next part, we're going to talk about how to record audio, as well as how to set up our MIDI controllers and record notes and automation. So stick around, I'll see you soon.